Colliding any type of audience with your speaking skills plus brilliant career development conversations. We have three objectives for this session. Let's review them together. First, I'm going to show you how to engage and mesmerize any audience through great speaking skills. Then I'm going to teach you how to become unforgettable through storytelling capabilities. And lastly, we're going to learn how to partner with your leaders and your managers to skyrocket your career to the levels you want through amazing development conversations. First, we're going to learn the 4 techniques to be an engaging speaker. Then we're going to learn the different speaker archetypes so we can leverage on them, use them when we're speaking to different people so we can get their full attention and engagement. Then I'm going to show you a lot of techniques and tricks to be an amazing storyteller. And finally, we will discuss a lot of strategies and ways to approach career development conversations for your success. So let's start with the techniques to be an engaging speaker. The first technique that I want to teach you is to vary the pace of the speech constantly. Accents are not an issue. Poor articulation is. So, in order for you to have a lot of engagement, this constant adjustment will make people to always be engaged. And do not worry, if you have a strong accent like myself, focus on articulating with clarity so people understand. And try to speak slowly so people get everything that you're saying and communicating. You can use this technique of vary the pace of your speech constantly to drive focus. If you want to communicate something that is really important, you can slow the pace. So people will start paying more attention to you. Oh, she's slowing down. What happened? But just remember that if you have an accent, you do not want to speak too fast to avoid people misunderstanding what you said. The second technique is volume. Volume is the lifeblood of your voice. Prepare yourself because the exploration of your voice will make you feel strange at the beginning if you're someone who is very shy when you're speaking. But it will definitely change your impact as a speaker. Volume is going to level up everything else. It's what is going to exponentiate. It's like the salt in a dish. And varying your volume is as well an amazing, powerful tool. You can go from very loud to say something, an amazing story, to very quiet and make a whisper to create a suspenseful environment among your crowd. During the journey of starting to increase your volume to gain more power, you may feel a little bit uncomfortable. Do not worry, it's 100% expected. Nevertheless, people will see you and perceive you as someone who is more confident. So it's a win-win eventually when you get used to use your volume as a tool during your communications. And it is inspiring. The more volume you add into a pitch, what is going to happen is that people is going to get motivated and inspired by you. So do not worry to start using this technique to inject more energy and positivity towards your goals and yourself. The third technique is melody and tonality. Melody and tonality brings emotions into our speeches. Your facial expressions are the gateway to you to transmit those feelings into your voice. So adding gestures into your stories and into your pitches is going to help you transmit those emotions so people get really connected to whatever is the message that you want to deliver. This is really useful whenever I want to share my experience. I want to make sure that I am adding my feelings and my emotions and a lot of gestures so people feel empathy and can relate with my story. If adding gestures and the melody and tonality into your conversations is something that is a struggle for you, remember that if you avoid transmitting those feelings, you're robbing your audience from the full roller coasters that you could be transmitting to them through those amazing stories. It would help you to communicate your message better when you add those feelings into the mix. At the same time, it will make your message and your story so much richer, entertaining, engaging, and inspiring, or even emotive for your audience. So make sure that you explore this technique as well. Then we have pauses. Pausing gives your audience the chance to process what you just had said. So get comfortable and embrace the pauses, embrace silence. Whenever you are using filler words like instead of that, be quiet, allow pauses. Whenever you add filler words into your message, it is robbing you away your confidence and it's distracting people from the core message. So instead of that, use pauses. Every time you pause, you have the time to breathe and reflect on whatever you just said, pay more attention to the audience faces, and as well, it drives focus. Whenever I am giving a pitch and for whatever reason I stay quiet in the middle of a sentence, people is going to be 100% into me. What happened? Why is she quiet? Stop being afraid of silence. And remember, silence is a tool and you want to make sure that you're using it every time instead of filler words. Very important key takeaway, ditch the filler words. Filler words make you appear less confident and rob your audience from the core message. Now, let's review the different speaker archetypes so you can use them and maximize your speaker abilities. Okay, so we have 4 speaker archetypes. I want to teach you each of them so you can master them all. First, we have friend. We want to use it to generate a connection, engage with the people, and the volume varies depending on the excitement to see the other person. We tend to be loud with our friends. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? Long time no see. Then we have educator. A very common archetype is Jordan Peterson. We use it to explain the what of the content, and it is not that high of a volume. It's 5 out of 10 of volume. It's typically when I am explaining something, a key concept, and I want you to focus and understand the basics of whatever it's key for me to communicate. Then we have motivator. A great example is Tony Robbins. Uses to explain why something is important so people pay attention. High volume, 8 out of 10, and tons of energy and passion. Usually, Tony Robbins says that he does not feel comfortable when people say that, hey, yes, you're a motivator speaker. He does not associate himself with that concept. However, he speaks like a motivator, and that's why people associate him with that image. So the different archetypes are going to help you as well on how people describe you and think you are. But you can use the 4 of them to your advantage. Then we have coach. We use this to share the how and raise accountability. When we're guiding or instructing, I want to trigger accountability and I want to show you how to apply the content. 7 out of 10 of volume, and it's pointing fingers and a little bit aggressive, so I inject that ownership toward my clients or customers or people that I work with, or even with my employees. So let's see the 4 archetypes in action. At the beginning of a meeting, I smile, glad to have you all here. How's everyone? Then motivator, when I am explaining the objective, why it's important for all of you to be here. I set up this meeting to teach you how to communicate like a professional. Then we have the educator that explains the content. We have 4 different archetypes: friend, motivator, coach, and educator. Then we have coach, when I explain the importance and how. I need you to have clarity on the different archetypes and start practicing them. It will benefit your career tremendously. And finally, I will close with friend to say goodbye, connecting with people, and sending good vibes. Any questions? Thank you very much for joining us today. See you soon.